Yo, what is up guys? I'm bringing you a brand new video and welcome to my Succession Berserker PvE guide. In this video I'm going to take you through the lightstones I use as well as the add-ons and then talk about the highest DPS sustain combo you can do as well as more of a protected larger AoE combo. To start off, let's go with the add-ons. These are what I'm using. I do recommend Fierce Strike, Frenzied, and Predatory be maintained with no changes, but you can make changes to Raging, Ancient, and Devastation depending on specifics of where you're grinding. If you're not grinding at a spot where you need to move, you don't need movement speed. If you're not grinding at a spot that you can down attack the mobs, you don't need down attack. So you can change this around depending on if you need more accuracy or evasion debuffs, whatnot, but don't touch these three abilities right here. In terms of the Lightstone setup, I do recommend 2 Blade, 2 Predation. Up until about 3 or 4 hours ago when I started testing for this, I was using Vicious Shadows, but I do think that 2 Blades, 2 Predations is still better because of Fierce Strike. Fierce Strike is a very important ability. It is the important ability. This is like all you need in your PvE combo for sustained damage. It is insane how good it is in comparison to the other abilities. I could not replicate a faster time than focusing around using just the claws, aka Fierce Strike. So I do think that having the 2 Blades, 2 Predations does increase your DPS output quite significantly because this does not have 100% critical hit rate. I tried a lot of different combos, and this was going to be a very confusing video when I set out to start making it. And I realized as I was doing testing after hours that I simply was not able to replicate a faster speed than just rotating these 3 abilities as a primary DPS combo. So that is a combo we're going to start off with in teaching you guys because it is really all you need to know for many grind spots, almost all of them actually. So the main combo focuses around using Predatory Hunt to start. That's going to put you in beast form as well as proc your 20-second add-ons. So you're going to do SFLMB. Then you're going to do Shift SLMB in order to proc some more add-ons, and then you're going to hold RMB. That is legitimately going to be the entire combo, and that is all you're going to need for high DPS over a long sustained period of time. Even when you are Z-buffed, it is going to be some of the highest damage you can achieve. I'll show you what it looks like here against an Olin. So we are going to use SFLMB, Shift SLMB, and then we're going to hold RMB. As soon as our Ultimate Frenzy Destroyer is back, we're going to use that, and then we're going to hold RMB. As soon as our Ultimate Frenzy Destroyer is back, we're going to do that. Our Predatory Hunt is back, so we're going to use that, and then we're going to hold RMB. Ultimate Frenzy Destroyer is back, so then we hold RMB. And then as soon as that ability comes off of cooldown, we use it, hold RMB, Predatory Hunt, hold RMB, Ultimate Frenzy Destroyer, hold RMB. And this is legitimately the most damage that you're going to be able to output over a very consistent basis, and pretty much all you're going to need to know for anywhere where you need a large amount of sustained damage. So it's very simple and it's very, very easy, but it truly is all you need to know. And I could not find a faster way to PvE. Even when using Raging Thunder, it was simply just not better. This was the fastest damage that you could achieve. Now, one thing that you may be noticing about this combo is that it does not really have a large amount of protection, and it doesn't really have a large amount of AoE. That can be a little bit problematic when it comes to spots that are more spread out or spots that do a lot more CC. So with that in mind, something that you should consider are these 4 abilities right here. These are the only other 4 abilities that are worth using in my personal opinion after all the testing that I've recently done. That would be Devastation, Raging Thunder, Fearsome Tyrant, and Ancient Wave. These 4 abilities have good AoE and good enough damage to be using in order to continue doing solid damage while also being more protected and more AoE. So the way that your PvE combo is going to work is you're going to start with your core, what we just learned, these 3 abilities, and then situationally or whenever you just kind of put these 4 abilities on cooldown as much as possible in sort of a thoughtful way. So it is a little bit more of a freestyle effect when you're doing this, but essentially what it would look like is something similar to this. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off with your normal abilities. So Predatory Hunt, your Ultimate Frenzy Destroyer, your RMB. Then you might use Devastation and Raging Thunder because that gives you a lot of nice SA. Once your Ultimate Frenzy Destroyer is back, you use that, and then maybe you use your Shift Q. Your Predatory Hunt is back up, so we'll use that. We'll use our Devastation, Ultimate Frenzy Destroyer, and then now our Raging Thunder is back, so we'll use that. And we're basically just watching our lower cooldown list and making sure that even though our upper cooldown list does have priority, we're still kind of using those 4 lower cooldowns whenever we might need a little bit of SA or whenever we might need a little bit of AoE. It makes it where you kind of just use them as necessary, not necessarily all the time, because they're just simply worse than otherwise using claws, which is the unfortunate reality of, because like look at right now, see, we're able to hit those three mobs in a nice AoE that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to do with claws. And now that they're more together, we don't need to worry quite as much about hitting them, because now we're hitting with our claws, so we can sort of default to using our normal DPS combo. But in that moment, I was using Raging Thunder as well as Devastation in order to have more of a bit of protection as well as hitting those mobs. But the amount of time that it takes to kill the mobs is virtually identical when weaving in these 4 abilities in addition to these 3. It's just that you get that protected effect, you get that AoE effect, and it's like just slightly slower, slightly more prone to error, and just not really worth doing unless you need that protection or AoE. And that is basically it when it comes to PvEing on Berserker. It's gotten a lot easier due to the recent buffs, and I definitely recommend that you just keep it simple with rotating these 3 abilities unless you need these for SA. Now, we are getting a pretty big buff to Devastation very soon. This ability could potentially be one that you're going to want to keep on cooldown at all times. I doubt it's going to be that significant to really think too much about in spots you don't need that AoE, but when that buff does come out, there's a good chance you might want to use this a little bit more often. But otherwise, focus on these 3 abilities, and that's all you really need to know in the class. So I hope you guys found this very useful. I hope you guys are now more prepared for PvEing on the class, and if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, and make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.